Welcome to T21Mom.
Hey friends, it's your friend Mary, and welcome back to the T21Mom podcast. And can you believe it? We've made it to episode 150. That's 150. Like, what happened? I could never imagine us getting to this day. I should probably have some kind of celebration. Cookies, cake, confetti. Let's be real. We don't want any confetti, and as much as I love glitter, we don't want glitter either because I will just be vacuuming that stuff up for the next week. Anyways, summer's here and it's in full swing. School's been out for a couple of weeks now, and the last few days of school was hard. There were definitely some tears from me and Ainsley's EA, but mostly me. But, it ended on such a wonderful note. Here's the amazing part. Ainsley won an award for outstanding improvement. And I nearly fell off my chair when they announced her name. I was not expecting it at all. It went to several students, but I still didn't think that Ainsley would be included in that. So it made me really happy to hear her name being called and her to get up on stage and to get her award. That was a pretty sweet moment. And later that day, another mom even told me that her son said that Ainsley totally deserved it. I mean, hello, proud mom moment overload. That's for sure. And even Ainsley's old EA from last year, Mr. L, first EA, Ronnie, who was with her for 4 years, came to the leaving ceremony. And Ainsley was so excited to see them. I mean, she sees Ronnie from time to time because she's still at the same school. But Mr. L, he has gone elsewhere. And it was almost like celebrity sightings at a red carpet event, and I half expected the paparazzi to come out. It was really fantastic to see them, at her ceremony for her. It was really special and it really meant a lot to me. And listen, because I clearly don't have enough chaos in my life, I decided to bake over 100 colored masquerade mask cookies and cupcakes for her whole leaving ceremony. Masquerade was the theme. And, apparently I thought I was on some kind of cooking or baking show. And, I made all of these cupcakes and cookies. It actually wasn't too bad, actually. It was the icing for the cupcakes that took forever to make. And thankfully, a couple of lovely moms from the ceremony committee helped me ice them. And, I don't think they had ever iced cupcakes before, and I felt we did a pretty decent job. I think they looked really great. And, I think they looked pretty awesome. They were all the different colors to match the cookies. And I think they were pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. And this year, Ainsley's EA, Ms. D, as we call her, she was an absolute dream. Every day, I tucked a little note into Ainsley's lunch bag. This had been something I'd been thinking about doing for a while, and I kept thinking, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? And the notes were short and fairly simple because I wanted her to be able to read them and to understand them. And one day, the note said, "I love that you give hugs." And when Ainsley read that, she immediately put her arm around Ms. D and gave her a hug. Cue the waterworks, because, I thought that was pretty special when she wrote that in her communication book to me. And that showed to me how much she enjoys getting those little notes, and they practice reading them every day. I kind of wondered what happened to the notes because they never came home. And I really had no idea until the second to last day of school when I found a package in Ainsley's backpack. I thought it was just a book. And it was a book, but not just any book. Ms. D had taken many of those little lunchbox notes that I had written, laminated them, and added pictures, and made a book called Letters from Mama. And I'm starting to tear up now just thinking about it. I literally just melted into a puddle on the floor. It was the best gift ever. We read it almost every night. Ainsley always picks it, even when I put it farther away. Almost every night she will pick that book to read. And it's honestly such a treasure, and I love the pictures. The pictures were awesome. I have such a hard time getting decent pictures of Ainsley, and it's just a really special keepsake from her last year of elementary school, and I love it. And on Ainsley's very last day, they were only at school for an hour. Ms. D and I, we talked and we cried. And she told me it was her best year ever as an wife, and that Ainsley was her favorite student. I mean, how do you even process something that beautiful? You know, as a mom, sometimes this journey feels so hard and so isolating, but moments like this, truly, they light up your soul. And it was also pretty tough saying goodbye to Ainsley's friends too. They are such a lovely group of girls. They've truly embraced Ainsley, and we're hoping to get together over the summer. But I know one of them's off to a camp and some of them are going away, so it'll be a little bit of a challenge. And, but summer is so busy. 1 minute is Canada Day and the next you're buying school supplies. So we'll see how that pans out. And speaking of summer, this past weekend, I hosted our annual Ups and Downs barbecue. I think this is our 4th year, and it's our little parent support group that started during COVID. And somehow it just hasn't quit. The group online has gotten a little smaller over the years, but we had 43 people this year. 43! That's a lot of burgers, people. And I was pretty anxious all week because the forecast kept threatening rain. But thankfully, the clouds parted and it was perfect. I think I did a little happy dance when I saw that there was 0 chance of precipitation that day. So that was pretty awesome. And one of the moms in our group, Cheryl, she so gladly volunteered her husband, who just happens to be a chef, to man the barbecue. So it was basically a gourmet backyard party. I also did a cookie buffet with 6 kinds of cookies because, I can't do anything halfway. And Cheryl, oh my gosh, she is a water balloon wizard and filled literally hundreds of balloons. I don't know how many, but there was a lot. And we had our epic water fight. And yes, I got completely soaked, but it was totally worth it. It's not a proper summer barbecue until you're dripping wet and trying to pretend your mascara isn't running. It was so much fun. And I just love that the kids get to run around and be free, and the parents don't have to explain or apologize or feel out of place. It's magic. One mom told me that her son said it was his favorite event of the whole year. That's why I do it. It was such an amazing day. And, we just had so much fun. And one of my friends, she finally made it this year, Jamie. She dressed her daughter in head to toe bright orange, kind of like Where's Waldo, just so she could spot her in the crowd because it was a little bit chaotic for a bit. And I thought that was a pretty genius move, Jamie. Safety and style, for sure. And now for the big news, we're off to Prague in a couple of days, literally, I think 2 days. I have a friend who lives there. She has worked in the foreign service for her entire career and has literally lived all over the world. But I've never been able to get a chance to go and visit her until now. She was last posted in Belgium, but then COVID hit and ruined that plan. Thanks, pandemic. So Prague, here we come. And we had such an epic trip to the Olympics last year. The plane ride, though, I am really hoping was better than last year, where Dennis was so sick, I had to ask the poor woman next to me for her barf bag. And of course, Murphy's Law, Ainsley's iPad died about 1 hour into the flight. Because, that's just the way it works. So this time, we're packing a lot of Gravol and overcharging that iPad. Wish us luck. So we've got castles, water parks, beer spas. Yes, that's a thing. Paddle boating and the zoo. Just some of the things that are on our agenda to see while we're in Prague. And I've done a little weather check, and for the most part, it looks like the weather is going to be decent, not too hot like it was last year in Paris, because they were having a heat wave then, and that was hard. And big thanks to my friend fangirl Amy, who made a special social story about our trip. Thanks, Amy. You're amazing. And I know I've previously talked about that we were kind of in a season of hard right now. But I'm actually really happy to say that things are getting better. Ainsley started a new medication. It's actually a medication that's used for ADHD. I think it was back in May that we started it. And it was to help with her impulsivity, like with the aggressive behaviors. You have to increase the dosage quite slowly. So we started at 1 milligram, and the doctor said we probably wouldn't really see any difference till about 4 or 5. And you can only go up 1 milligram every 2 weeks. So it took a while to get up to the 5 milligrams, which is where we're at now. And, it's kind of been a lifesaver because it was really, really challenging for a while. Her vocalizations have literally, I wouldn't say completely disappeared because they do creep in every once in a while, but definitely significantly reduced and way less banging. I mean, the banging's still occurring, but it's not nearly as bad. I even moved the sofa table back to behind the couch because that poor table had more dents in it than a bumper car. And we have dents all over the furniture in the house, including the floor and the walls. So it's been a bit of a tough go lately. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think it still needs to be tweaked a little bit, but I'm hopeful because it's been good. And I've had a couple people actually mention, without knowing about the medication, that she's been more focused. So obviously that's a great benefit that the medication she's on is helping her with that. So it's all been very, very positive. So I'm really thankful for that. And when we return from Prague, it's not long until high school begins. Insert panic scream here. I am equal parts excited and terrified. She will have a full-time EA. I think there will be 2 people, like one in the morning and one in the afternoon, which helps ease my anxiety a little bit, but it's a big change. There's no more daycare, and that's going to be really, I think, the hardest thing for both of us, because she really loves her daycare a lot. She talks about it all the time. And even the staff have commented that they are already getting emotional about saying goodbye to Ainsley, because she's been going to that daycare for 8 years. That's a long time. And the staff there are just so amazing with her. It's been so awesome. And going into high school, there's going to be fewer familiar faces, and it's just a whole new world to adjust to. Oh, deep breaths, right? Don't worry, I will update you how it goes. So I'm busy packing and getting ready for our trip. So friends, stay tuned for a special episode all about Prague. We'll see how that goes. And I'll let you know how the Gravol works, and maybe how many castles we actually see, and whether the beer spa lives up to the hype. Until then, thank you so much for listening, and thank you for being here through 150 episodes. And I want you to know that I love you and I see you. And remember, keep on loving on your rockin' kiddos, and I'll see you next time.